Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to take a look at our urban worm bag that has the African Nightcrawlers in it. Now, this system has started to really start moving along, and it's getting better and better about taking food. Last time we added around over 4 pounds of food. This time we're going to do the same thing, around 4 pounds, 10 ounces of food we're going to add. And we're going to continue to try to keep this system moving. My goal is to really have it up and running before fall and winter kick in, so I can add lots of food, have it sort of heat up with that food as it sort of composts, and that way the system won't go into this massive issue during the winter where there's not enough warmth in the system. So with that, the worms last time we checked were doing really well, and it's been 17 days, so just over 2 weeks. And I'm hoping that this system is going to be just as good as it was last time, with lots of large worms in there, lots of castings, and almost no cardboard. They're really chewing through the food and the cardboard. Now, last time we did add some corn cobs, I think, so those might take a little longer to break down, but that's perfectly fine. We'll see how those worms do with it. But with that, let's take a look at our system. Let's get some more food in there, more bedding, and let's get these worms up and running as fast as we can, just like we had our other systems where we could check on them maybe every 2 weeks and add food. So with that, we'll take a look at our bin and how it's going. All right, here we are at the bag. As I said, it's been about 17 days since our last check-in. Now let's go ahead and open this up. First off, kind of dry on the top here, not much moisture. So a little bit drier than I thought. I was hoping there'd be a little bit more moisture on there. And let's go ahead and dig in here. As you can see, there's some mold, it looks like, and there's some mites on here. So this is starting to sort of reflect that water in, as I was hoping it would do. So I'm going to put this off to the side for now. And then let's just grab this as well. This is our pizza box. Actually, we've got right on here, you can see this is one of these millipedes. So it's not a centipede. Centipedes are bad. Millipedes, they're one of the composters in your bin. They're perfectly fine. That one looks like it might be dead. Or I just scared it and it curls up in a ball because it's scared. Now, I'm seeing a lot of red mites in the system here. I'm not too worried about them, but that usually means that there might be a little bit too much moisture, actually, compared to it being a little bit not enough, or too much moisture rather than being not enough. Now, I see them all over the sides over here. I know those are hard to zoom in on, really. You can see, actually, there's quite a bit of bedding left in here, but looks like this is doing pretty well. I mean, there's a good amount of moisture. We've got some mold growing over here. We've got our corn cobs here. Looks like there was a plant starting to grow on some of the pepper seeds. You can see that right there. They were starting to grow. You can see right there I've got a mite actually on my glove crawling around. I don't know if you can see them or not. And springtail, but so still got some coffee grounds in here. As I said, we're trying to speed this system up. Now you can see in here, these are actually, those might be baby worms, because those are not white. They are more of a pinkish color. I want to say that those are probably baby worms. Somebody in the comments, if you want to comment below. I've seen pot worms. Pot worms are normally pretty white, and these are not that bright white of a color. Although normally I do see pot worms around coffee grounds. It's interesting that that does to me look like baby worms. So again, though, I was really hoping for this. It looks like corn cobs, unsurprisingly, still here. Still pretty hard. I can break them in half, though. But you can see, well, got a baby, got a young worm that crawled up inside of here. Look at that. So they're moving at these. They're going to take time to break down. But these guys, these worms, they are big. As I said, these are these African Nightcrawlers, and they are large worms. Look at that. Nice large worm here. They look very healthy. They are reproducing in this system, because this system at one point had very few in here, and then I kept adding more moisture and more stuff to it. Look at that. You can see another one over here. But these are supposed to be ravenous worms from everything I've read, that they go through food and bedding especially very quickly. And that is my hope. I need a system that can really churn through some food. Let's break this one open too. That one just snapped in half. These already feel softer than normal, actually, after being in a system. Normally, after only 14 days or something, they might be a little bit hard to snap in half. Again, no, another one of these really. This is a younger one, but still, you can see just how large these worms are, and they look pretty good in here as far as what they're doing. material that they create, I think, is some of the best looking castings. Got a couple of worms right here again, but you can see the castings also around these worms, and they just look really nice. Nice and big castings. They look like they'll be easy to sort. So, but look at that. Right now, it looks like there's a few things of food left, but really not a whole lot. We're going to move this off to the other side now. And we did have, as you can see here, we had these corn cobs all through the bin. Another thing, coffee grounds. These things can take a while to break down sometimes. This one has nothing in it. So you can see there's nothing in there. At least nothing that's moving. Here's a tea bag. Now, for this one, I can't tell if they've started to go through. Oh, the string's coming apart and everything. So they've started to go through that tea bag. But that stuff's going to take a little bit longer to break down than the food will that's in here. So, but this is so far looking really good. We still got the corn cobs, got a couple of things in here maybe. Looks like this is maybe a clementine peel. So let's just dig over here now. You see, look at it. They've gone through all the food already, except for these really hard things that are harder to go through. So, very ravenous worms. As I said, the corn cobs are really soft. I didn't expect them to be that soft. Normally I can't break them apart until after like a couple months. So another big African Nightcrawler in there. Got, again, a whole bunch of them in there. Look at that. So they're really taking towards the sides here, but they're working through this material pretty well. I'm actually pretty impressed right now with how quickly they're moving through it. Hopefully they'll move up into this bedding material as well. But what do we need to do next? Oh, there's a fruit fly. Hopefully he's not going to get into the system here. Haven't seen any fruit flies in the system, which has been nice. I don't have the traps in here yet, though, so I can move these guys off to the sides. I know that the food that I've put in here is going to be frozen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in just a layer of cardboard that's dry, just to sort of protect them. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put in some pine shavings. If I can get the pine shavings into the container here. I didn't have this ready to go, but I got the pine shavings right next to me. There we go. We're just going to sprinkle just a few pine shavings on top here. I do like to mix up the bedding materials, give the worms different textures to work with. Now, this is going to be a little bit tough to see right here, but I do like to mix things up a little bit. And I've got the pine shavings right here. I'm trying to go through those along with some other stuff that I've got. So now for the feeding, we're going to have a variety of food again this time. This time I've got a small container that I've been meaning to get out of my freezer here. So this one has a variety of foods in it. Maybe some that might be a little bit different that I've never thrown into a system before. First off, we've got our avocado peels. These things do take a little bit longer to break down, but we're going to crunch them up a little bit here. We're going to see how these worms do with them since they're chewing through this food so quickly, which I'm really happy to see. I mean, I was getting really worried for a while with them that I was going to lose all these worms over the winter. More avocado. Banana peels, those they go through pretty quickly. Now, this is something that I've never thrown in one of my systems before. This is a cherry. And this does have the pit, or I think some people call them stones in it. So this is a stone fruit, I think. I think that's what it's called. I'm not as versed in fruits and veggies. But we're going to try that and see if that breaks down. Who knows? Maybe it'll grow. I don't know. We'll see. All right, here we got coffee grounds. Again, these are sort of kind of together a little bit here. So I'm trying to rip them apart a little bit here before you go forward. But we got some strawberry peels. Got a lot of ice here in the bottom. There's a lot of liquid in here. More banana peels. Look at that. All right. Let's break this apart, though, best we can. Spread things around. That's what's key. Oh, we got an apple core in here as well. And it looks like that's it. Primarily banana peels, the strawberries, and the coffee grounds in here. So, all right. Let's grab the big container now that I'm going to add. Just turn up the side a little bit. All right. There we go. And this one has a little bit more stuff in it. We got some peppers, which we throw in quite frequently. And again, we're going to probably have some pepper plants growing. Although I didn't see many growing this time. I think that they kind of cleared them out pretty quick before they could grow. We got a little bit of cucumber, banana peel, again. Lots of carrot this time. So we've got this carrot. More banana peels. Another big pepper piece right here. More and more carrot peels. This is a carrot one right here. That's why this is so light comparatively. Look at that. We got more banana peels. Just trying to break some of these things apart. All right. Coffee grounds, tea grounds, or tea leaves. Grape in there. More banana peels and tea leaves. All right. This is a fairly large feeding. Again, I'm going to continue to throw in more and more food into this system. As we move forward, I'm going to be trying to really get these worms up and going. The thing is I'm throwing in frozen food, which isn't great for these worms. They like the warmer weather, they like warmer conditions, and I'm throwing in cold food here that I'm hoping will warm up quickly as it's kind of all together and everything. So that's probably might be why they moved to the side as well, is to kind of get away from the center sections that could be a little bit more chilly. But as you add in a lot of food like this, you do build up heat. Now, next thing we need to add is our crushed crab and eggshell. And just a reminder though, when you're working with this stuff, you really want to put on an N95 mask. You know, that's what I wear when I'm doing this. I'm going to put that on right now, so I'm going to be a little bit muffled. But you want to make sure you're wearing a mask when you're doing this, because you don't want to get this stuff in your lungs. There we go. I was looking for my container there for a second. All right. Whole bunch of crushed crab and eggshell in here. Oh, that's about the last of that container. I'll have to refill that later. And now, last part is paper. And here we go. We got our pre-moistened paper in this container here. Might be a little bit of water left in there. A little bit. Some of that's a little bit dry. It's hard to get it all soaked without having a sealed container where I can really move it around. Ooh, I'm dumping a bunch of this on the floor. There we go. Look at that. Whole bunch of paper in here. And we're going to go ahead and scrape this out. Try to get all the paper we can out of here, since it's wet. And this, again, this water mix does have the BTI in it. Try to prevent those fungus gnats and everything. I'm just going to grab a couple pieces of paper on the floor here that fell. Try to get everything in there I can. That looks a little bit more dry than I expected. I'm going to put some water in there. Let me just turn on my sprayer here. And I know I said that it was had enough moisture because of the mites, but I do like to make sure that there's enough moisture for these worms too. Now with that, we're going to throw our cardboard back in on top here. We're going to try to get this, we're going to leave this bundled up underneath here and see if that they can work through this and get this taken care of. And with that, we're going to throw our piece of plastic cardboard back on top here. And that way, hopefully it'll keep that moisture right above. And you can see that there's a whole bunch of mites here. Did I get any of them? Oh, let's just see if I get any in view here if I bring this up. It's like right over here. There's a couple red mites in here. Maybe it's better over here. I can't tell. It's hard to see because I'm looking on a little tiny screen. But there's some mites on there. It's not a big deal. I've never found it to be an issue for the worms. But, you know, if you really want to get rid of them, there's things you can do. But that's it for this update. So this system is working pretty well still. 17 days, all the major food groups were gone. Some of the longer ones that are typically take longer were still there. And this is good to go for another 14 days before we at least check on it again. At least 14 days, maybe a little sooner, or not sooner, but a little bit longer depending on how long it takes me to get back to it. But system's doing really good. Worms are doing really well. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below.